This is a tutorial of the prior knowledge survey in which you were asked to find the length of AB, the midpoint of AB, and the perpendicular bisector of AB. To begin with, we need to know some things about AB. First of all, the coordinates of A are the 4 is the x-coordinate and up 5 on the y-axis, and B is -1, -3. So we can start by identifying those coordinates, and we can use those coordinates to find the length using the distance formula. The distance formula asks us to take the difference of the x values and square that, and the difference of the y values and square that, and take the square root of the sum. So the difference of the x values is 4 minus -1 squared, and the difference of the y values, 5 minus -3, and we square that. And simplifying, we get 5 squared plus 8 squared and square root of 25 plus 64, which is the square root of 89. We check to see if that can be simplified at all, and since not, we can leave it as its precise answer, square root of 89. That's the length of AB. For number 2, we're asked to find the midpoint of AB, and to find the midpoint, we can use the midpoint formula, which is just the average of the x values and the average of the y values. So for the average of the x values, we add our 2 x values and divide by 2, and the average of the y values, same thing, 5 plus -3 over 2. And that gives us 3 over 2 and 2 over 2. Or 3/2, 1. You're welcome to write 3/2 as 1.5. That's sufficient as well. So we have these 2 answers for numbers 1 and 2. And finally, for number 3, we're asked to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. We need to know a couple of things in order to find the equation of a line. We need at least one point on the line, and we need the slope. Well, we have a point on the line, because we know that midpoint, the midpoint of AB bisects. So it's not quite exactly drawn, but that would bisect the line. So that's going to be on our perpendicular bisector. And we can find the slope for the perpendicular bisector by taking the opposite reciprocal of the slope of AB. So let's start by finding the slope of AB, which we just find the difference in the y's divided by the difference in the x's. 5 minus -3 over 4 minus -1, or 8 over 5. Therefore, the slope of the perpendicular line to AB is the opposite reciprocal, or -5 over 8. And now we can use any linear form. I'll use the point slope form, where I take y minus a y value from the line, which we'll get from this perpendicular, from this midpoint, or y minus 1 equals the slope, -5/8, times x minus x1, or 3/2. And now we can simplify and rearrange, adding 1 to both sides. I'll go ahead and write that over there, and distributing the -5/8. I get -5/8 x plus 15 over 16, and then I have my plus 1. So y equals -5/8 plus, rewriting this as 16 over 16, I get 31 over 16. There's my x. And there's my equation. And just to check, to make sure it's right, I'm going to plot it. 31 over 16 is my y-intercept, which is just a tiny bit over 2. So my y-intercept is here, a little past 2, and it has a slope of -5/8. So I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 8. And that looks just about right.